On payday morning, your raise hits your account. It is not huge. Maybe it is $30 more this week. For someone living on $1,500 to $4,000 a month, that extra $30 should matter. Then it is Friday. Your balance looks the same as always, and you are left asking one question. What leak makes extra money disappear by Friday? This matters because when the margin is thin, small leaks become big consequences. In the Federal Reserve's household survey, a large share of adults said they could not cover a $400 emergency with cash alone. When money is tight, a little extra income should create breathing room, not new stress. So if you feel underpaid, stuck, or constantly broke, and you cannot understand why a raise never changes your week, stay with me. In this video, you will learn what is really draining the money, and you will get a simple order for what extra dollars should do first so they stop vanishing. This is Wealth Mentor Pro, where every lesson is a step closer to your freedom. And by the end, you will have 3 clear rules you can use on your very next payday. I have had weeks where a raise felt like it evaporated before my coffee cooled. Most videos stop at one answer: lifestyle creep. That is real, but for many low and middle income households, it is not the first leak. The bigger issue is routing. Extra money lands in the same place as everything else, so it gets pulled into the same defaults. Picture your paycheck like water poured into a bucket with a tiny pinhole. The bucket is your checking account. The pinhole is every automatic pull you barely notice: bills, subscriptions, minimum payments, and quick convenience spending. You pour in a little more, the level rises for a moment, and then it slips right back down. Here is what that looks like in real life. A $1 per hour raise is about $40 more a week at 40 hours. After taxes and deductions, it might feel like $25 to $35. On Monday, the phone bill drafts. Tuesday, a subscription renews because subscriptions have perfect timing. Wednesday, the minimum credit card payment hits. Thursday, groceries run a little higher. By Friday, the raise already has owners. You just did not pick them. Try this today. Open your bank app and list every payment that hits between payday and Friday. Not monthly totals, the actual dates. When you see the timing, the week makes more sense. If this feels useful, you can tap like so. YouTube shows you more calm money help. Because the stakes are not just emotional, when cash gets tight midweek, you do not just pause saving, you get pushed toward expensive choices, overdrafts, late fees, and putting basics on a credit card. One rough week can erase a month of progress. Now here is the next question, and it catches a lot of people off guard. Even if your bills are fixed, why does the extra money still disappear? Hidden leak number 2 is fees and interest. Spending you do not feel in the moment, but you pay for later. An overdraft fee can be around $30. A late fee can be similar, and credit card interest rates have been around the low 20s. That is not a character flaw, that is math. Imagine you earn $2,600 a month. After rent, utilities, groceries, and commuting, you have $120 left in a decent month. Now, one bill hits a day early. You get a $30 overdraft fee, and you do not notice until Friday. Add roughly $17 or $18 of interest on a $1,000 credit card balance at about a 21% APR. Almost half your monthly surplus is gone, and you did not buy anything exciting. This is where typical advice gets too clean. People say, invest the raise. But if your money is leaking through fees and high-interest debt, investing first can feel like progress on paper and pressure in real life. So start with a guardrail. Set a small floor for your checking account, like $100, and treat it as untouchable. Turn on low balance alerts if your bank offers them. The goal is not perfection. The goal is fewer surprise fees. And there is a third leak that is quieter than any spreadsheet. It is the way normal life consumes attention. When you are stretched, decision fatigue is real. You make choices all day. By Friday, the easiest option wins. When extra money has no root, it gets a default root: convenience. For example, your raise adds $30 this week, 2 lunches at $12, a quick gas station stop for $8, 1 delivery fee you barely notice. That is not reckless. That is a tired person buying time and relief. So here is the truth that can change the feeling of Friday. The leak is not one big purchase. It is unassigned money. If extra dollars do not get a job first, they get hired by whatever shows up next. And that leads to the real question. How do you assign the job first, especially when the extra money is small? But here's what almost no one tells you. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to build a system that grows your net worth. Net worth is what you own minus what you owe. That is how you stop losing money and start building assets. Quick question for you, and answer in one word in the comments. What day does your money usually feel gone? Monday, Wednesday, or Friday? Now we build the route. 3 switches. Simple enough for $50 a month. Strong enough to scale when you earn more. This is education, not personal financial advice, and you should always adapt it to your real bills and responsibilities. Rule 1. Move the extra money within 24 hours of payday. If it sits in your spending account, it will get spent by default. The benefit is calm. You stop negotiating with yourself all week because the decision is already made. Example, your paycheck is about $120 higher this month from overtime. Within a day, you split it. $40 goes to a buffer, $60 goes toward your highest cost debt, and $20 stays as guilt-free spending because systems that never allow joy tend to break. If your income is irregular, do the same idea with simple percentages until things stabilize. You can start with something like half to stability, half to progress, then refine later. Automatic transfers help, but even a manual payday move works if you do it first, not last. In personal finance, boring is a compliment. Rule 2. Build a tiny buffer before you chase big goals. A buffer is not a luxury. It is protection from expensive emergencies. The benefit is you stop paying panic costs. You avoid overdrafts. You borrow less for small shocks. You protect your future self from emergencies that would otherwise turn into debt. Example, aim for a starter buffer of $300. If you route $30 a week, that is about 10 weeks. If you route $10 a week, that is about 30 weeks. Slow is fine. Remember that many households struggle with a $400 surprise, so a $300 buffer is a real line of defense, not a motivational poster. Keep the buffer simple. It is for the tire, the prescription, the school fee, the bill that came early. When you use it, refill it on the next payday route. Think of it as resetting the floor under your week. Rule 3. After the buffer and basics, reduce the most expensive debt leak next. Debt is not shame, it is a cost. The benefit is that each month you reduce that cost, you free up cash flow. That is how your savings rate rises without punishing your life. This is how you create room for investing later. As a concept, diversified, low cost, long horizon, no guarantees. First, you stop the leak, then you build stability, then you create space for ownership over time. Example, a $1,000 credit card balance at about a 21% APR costs roughly $17 to $18 a month in interest. If your raise gives you $25 a month of extra breathing room and you aim it at the highest interest balance, you are reducing the drag that keeps you stuck. Keep minimum payments current, then focus extra on the highest interest first. If high-interest debt is already under control, the same routing habit becomes your bridge to long-term assets. Small, steady contributions, over time, with diversification. No hero moves needed. And keep this reality close. Wealth building is slow, uneven, and personal. No overnight transformations, but a route turns small wins into real change. Here is the payoff, and it takes 1 minute. On payday, before you scroll, before you spend, do a 60-second route check. Ask 3 questions. What could cause a fee this week? What strengthens my buffer? What reduces my most expensive debt? Then move the money while it is still visible. Remember the bucket from the beginning, the one that never seems fuller by Friday. We do not try harder to hold more water. We close the pinhole by giving the extra dollars a job first. This is Wealth Mentor Pro. If you found this helpful, you can like the video and subscribe for more calm, practical money guidance. And if you want to keep going right now, click the next suggested video and stay in this steady momentum.